Imagine creating a connection so profound that she can't stop thinking about you. A bond so deep it stirs her emotions and builds unshakable desire without games or manipulation. The ancient Stoics, masters of understanding the human mind, knew the secret to creating meaningful relationships: integrity, authenticity, and emotional resonance. In this video, I'll reveal the 7 steps to unlock a level of emotional desire most men don't even know exists. Stick around until the end, where I'll share the most powerful Stoic principle to deepen any relationship. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your experiences in the comments. Let's dive in. Chapter 1: How Women Create Connections. For women, emotional connections are everything. They are the foundation upon which relationships are built and the fuel that keeps them alive. These connections aren't formed through flashy words, material gifts, or grand gestures. They're cultivated through the way you make her feel, both in the moment and over time. Women create bonds by experiencing meaningful moments and sensing genuine presence. It's not about impressing her, it's about understanding and appreciating her for who she truly is. To create emotional desire, focus on shared experiences that resonate deeply with her. Pay attention to the little things that reveal her inner world and make an effort to highlight them. Instead of relying on generic compliments like "you're beautiful," focus on specific details that show you truly see her. For example, if she shares a childhood dream during a conversation, remember it and acknowledge it later. "That story you told me about wanting to be a painter as a kid?" It's inspiring how that creativity is still part of you. Such comments demonstrate attentiveness and convey that you value the person she is beneath the surface. Emotional connections also thrive on your ability to be fully present. In today's fast-paced, distraction-filled world, giving someone your undivided attention is rare and powerful. When you're with her, put away your phone, maintain eye contact, and listen actively. Women often sense when someone is only half engaged, and nothing erodes connection faster than feeling ignored or overlooked. By being present, you create a space where she feels safe, valued, and deeply understood. But building connections isn't just about words, it's also about actions. The way you respond to her needs and emotions speaks volumes about your character. For instance, if she's had a rough day, small gestures like bringing her favorite tea or offering a supportive ear can make a profound impact. These seemingly simple acts show her that you care and are attuned to her feelings, strengthening the emotional bond between you. At the heart of these connections lies authenticity. Women have an uncanny ability to detect insincerity, so it's crucial to approach her with genuine intentions. Don't try to be someone you're not or say things you don't mean just to win her favor. Instead, embrace vulnerability and let her see the real you. Authenticity fosters trust, and trust is the gateway to emotional intimacy. The Stoics, known for their emphasis on meaningful relationships, understood this well. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together." This wisdom reminds us of the importance of embracing the connections we're given and making them count. Rather than chasing superficial interactions, focus on creating moments of real depth and understanding. These moments become the threads that weave a lasting bond. Creating emotional desire isn't about performing or proving yourself, it's about allowing her to feel uniquely understood and cherished. This means paying attention to her quirks, passions, and values, and celebrating them in ways that resonate with her. For example, if she loves stargazing, surprise her with a night under the stars. If she's passionate about music, learn about her favorite artists and share a playlist that reflects her tastes. These thoughtful gestures show her that you've taken the time to know her on a deeper level. Another powerful way to build connection is through shared growth. Women often seek partners who inspire them to become the best versions of themselves. By sharing your own journey of self-improvement and encouraging her dreams, you create a dynamic where both of you can thrive together. This shared sense of purpose adds layers of depth to your relationship, making it more meaningful and fulfilling. Ultimately, emotional connections are about creating a space where she feels safe to be her true self. When she senses that you see and value her for who she really is, not for what she does or how she looks, her emotional desire for you grows naturally. By being present, attentive, and authentic, you build a bond that goes beyond surface-level attraction and taps into something far more profound. Remember, it's not about grand gestures or scripted moments. It's the small, consistent actions that show her you care, the genuine interest you take in her world, and the effort you make to truly connect. When you focus on these elements, you create the kind of emotional connection that sparks desire and builds a foundation for a lasting relationship. Chapter 2: Integrity, the foundation of desire. Trust is the cornerstone of any emotional connection, and integrity is the bedrock upon which trust is built. If she feels she can rely on you, her desire deepens naturally and effortlessly. This isn't about always agreeing with her or constantly being available. It's about being consistent and showing that your actions align with your words. Do what you say you'll do, no matter how small the promise may seem. Show up when it matters most, and avoid making commitments you can't realistically fulfill. For example, if you promise to call at a certain time, make sure to follow through without fail. Small gestures like these might seem trivial, but they are powerful in reinforcing her belief that you're someone she can depend on. On the other hand, if circumstances prevent you from fulfilling a promise, be upfront and honest about it rather than leaving her in the dark. Transparency in your actions signals emotional stability and maturity, two traits that cultivate desire and admiration over time. Reliability doesn't mean being perfect, it means being consistent. It's the little things that count. For instance, when you make her a priority during critical moments, you show her that her trust in you is well placed. Whether it's a small promise or a significant commitment, how you handle these situations sends a clear message about your character. Women value reliability not because they're testing you, but because it gives them a sense of security and emotional safety. This emotional stability is magnetic, drawing her closer and deepening the connection you share. The Stoics regarded integrity as one of life's highest values. The philosopher Seneca famously said, "What is right is not always popular, and what is popular is not always right." This timeless wisdom applies to relationships as well. Staying true to your word, even when it's inconvenient or unappreciated by others, demonstrates a strength of character that few possess. By embodying this principle, you not only earn her respect and trust, but also become someone she can truly admire. Moreover, integrity goes beyond keeping promises. It's about being honest in your intentions and actions, even when it might be uncomfortable. For example, if you feel strongly about something, express it respectfully instead of withholding your thoughts to avoid conflict. Women admire men who can stand firm in their beliefs while remaining considerate and understanding. This balance of strength and empathy reflects a deep authenticity that's rare and irresistible. In a world where flattery and empty gestures often overshadow sincerity, a man with unwavering integrity stands out. He becomes a beacon of reliability and consistency, qualities that form the foundation of lasting desire. Integrity isn't just about what you do when others are watching, it's about who you are when no one is. When she sees that your actions are guided by principles rather than convenience, her trust in you grows immeasurably. Ultimately, integrity is not just a value, it's a way of life. It's what allows relationships to flourish because it fosters trust, respect, and emotional security. When you embody integrity, you're not just building desire, you're building a bond that can weather any storm. Remember, it's not about grand gestures, but about showing up, staying true, and letting your actions speak louder than words. In doing so, you create a connection built on authenticity and mutual respect, a connection she'll cherish deeply. Chapter 3: Authenticity. Be true to yourself. Authenticity is the cornerstone of deep emotional desire. When you're true to yourself, you exude a natural confidence that draws people in. Pretending to be someone you're not might capture her attention briefly, but it will never create the kind of connection that leads to lasting attraction. Women crave authenticity because it signals self-awareness, strength, and emotional stability, all traits that are irresistibly magnetic. Being authentic doesn't mean revealing every detail about your life immediately or behaving without consideration for others. True authenticity is about aligning your words and actions with your beliefs and values. It's about being honest and genuine, even when it feels easier to go along with the crowd. For example, if she expresses an opinion you disagree with, don't nod just to appease her. Instead, engage in a respectful conversation. Say something like, "I see where you're coming from, but I have a different perspective." What I find interesting is, this not only demonstrates your integrity, but also shows that you value honest dialogue over shallow agreement. Women are particularly attuned to authenticity because it offers them a sense of emotional safety. When you're consistent in who you are, she doesn't have to guess or worry about hidden agendas. This reliability builds trust, which is the foundation of emotional connection. By contrast, pretense or exaggeration can lead to mistrust and a feeling of disconnect. Your authenticity should also shine through in the way you express your interests and passions. If there's something you're deeply invested in, a hobby, a goal, or even a quirky obsession, share it with her unapologetically. For instance, if you're passionate about photography, talk about how it allows you to capture fleeting moments or see the world differently. Your enthusiasm will be contagious, and she'll appreciate the glimpse into what makes you tick. At the same time, authenticity requires the courage to embrace vulnerability. This means being honest about your imperfections and insecurities, rather than trying to present a flawless facade. If you've made mistakes in the past or faced challenges, don't shy away from acknowledging them. Instead, share how those experiences have shaped who you are today. For example, you might say, "There was a time I let fear hold me back, but it taught me how to take risks and trust myself." This level of honesty not only humanizes you, but also makes her feel more connected to your journey. Authenticity also involves respecting your boundaries and standing firm in your values. If something doesn't align with your principles, it's okay to say no, even if it's uncomfortable. For example, if she suggests something you're not comfortable with, be honest, "I'd rather not, but I appreciate you sharing that idea with me." This shows her that you're not afraid to stand up for yourself, which is a quality women deeply respect. The Stoics were masters of self-awareness and authenticity. They believed in the importance of understanding oneself and living in harmony with one's nature. Epictetus famously taught, "Know, first, who you are, and then adorn yourself accordingly." This principle reminds us that authenticity isn't about trying to fit into someone else's expectations. It's about embracing your unique identity and expressing it confidently. One way to practice authenticity is by being mindful of your communication. Avoid exaggerations, empty compliments, or trying too hard to impress. Instead, let your words carry meaning and intention. For instance, instead of giving a generic compliment like, "You're so beautiful," focus on something more personal and genuine, such as, "There's something about the way you light up when you talk about your passions. It's captivating." These thoughtful remarks show her that you're paying attention and appreciating her for who she truly is. Authenticity also extends to how you handle disagreements or conflicts. It's natural to have differing opinions, but the way you navigate them can either strengthen or weaken your connection. When a disagreement arises, approach it with curiosity and openness. For example, instead of saying, "You're wrong," try, "That's an interesting perspective. I hadn't thought of it that way. Here's how I see it. This approach not only maintains mutual respect, but also deepens the emotional bond by showing her that you value her input, even if you don't always agree. Living authentically means being present in the moment and fully engaged with the people around you. It's about showing her that you're not preoccupied with trying to impress others or fitting into societal molds. This level of self-assurance is incredibly attractive because it allows her to feel comfortable being herself around you. When you're genuine, you create a space where she can let down her guard and connect with you on a deeper level. It's also important to remember that authenticity doesn't mean stagnation. Growth and self-improvement are integral parts of being true to yourself. The more you learn about yourself and strive to align your life with your values, the more magnetic you become. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. This Stoic wisdom encourages us to focus on living authentically rather than trying to define or prove it. In the end, authenticity is about being real, not perfect. It's about showing up as yourself, flaws, strengths, quirks, and all, and inviting her to do the same. When you embrace who you are and live in alignment with your values, you naturally inspire trust, respect, and emotional desire. It's a powerful reminder that the most attractive thing you can offer is your true self. Chapter 4: Vulnerability, the secret to intimacy. While strength and confidence are undeniably attractive traits, vulnerability is what deepens a connection and fosters true intimacy. It's through moments of authenticity, when you let down your guard and allow someone to see the real you, that emotional bonds are formed. Vulnerability doesn't mean exposing every fear or insecurity at once. Instead, it's about carefully and courageously sharing pieces of your inner world, demonstrating trust, and inviting her to do the same. For many men, vulnerability can feel uncomfortable, as society often equates it with weakness. However, true strength lies in the ability to face and share your emotions. When done with intention and care, vulnerability is not only powerful, but also incredibly attractive. It shows her that beneath your confident exterior is a complex, self-aware individual who values genuine connection over superficiality. To practice vulnerability effectively, begin by identifying meaningful moments to share. For instance, if she asks about your dreams or aspirations, don't deflect or give a generic answer. Instead, dive a little deeper. You might say, "There was a time when I wasn't sure if I could achieve what I wanted, but I realized I had to focus on the things I could control. That shift in perspective changed everything for me." By revealing your past struggles and the lessons you've learned, you're inviting her into a part of your life that's personal and real. Sharing stories from your past, whether about challenges you've overcome, moments of joy, or even mistakes, creates a narrative that allows her to understand you on a deeper level. For example, you might recount a time when you faced adversity, such as a career setback or personal loss, and how it shaped your perspective. By sharing how you persevered, you're not only displaying vulnerability, but also showcasing resilience, a quality that women find incredibly appealing. Vulnerability also means being open about your emotions in the present moment. If you feel a connection growing, don't be afraid to express it. A simple yet heartfelt statement like, "I really enjoy spending time with you, it feels easy and genuine," can have a profound impact. It shows her that you're emotionally available and willing to take risks to build intimacy. However, it's important to balance vulnerability with discernment. Oversharing too soon or divulging deeply personal details without establishing trust can feel overwhelming or misplaced. The key is to share at a pace that feels natural and appropriate for the stage of your relationship. Think of vulnerability as a dance. Reveal a little, observe her response, and then decide if it's the right time to go deeper. The Stoics, often seen as champions of emotional fortitude, understood the value of vulnerability in its true sense. They believed that acknowledging human fragility and seeking help when needed were signs of wisdom, not weakness. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Don't be ashamed of needing help. You have a duty to fulfill your nature." This philosophy emphasizes that vulnerability is not about admitting defeat, but about embracing your humanity and allowing others to see it. One of the most powerful aspects of vulnerability is that it encourages reciprocity. When you open up, you create a safe space for her to do the same. If you share a story about overcoming self-doubt or facing a personal fear, she's more likely to share her own experiences, deepening the emotional connection between you. This mutual exchange builds trust and reinforces the idea that you're both in this together as equals. It's also worth noting that vulnerability doesn't always have to be serious or heavy. Sharing your quirks, hobbies, or even embarrassing moments can be equally effective. For example, admitting that you once tried and failed to bake a cake or revealing a childhood fear of public speaking can bring a sense of lightness and relatability to your interactions. These moments of openness make you more approachable and endearing, showing her that you don't take yourself too seriously. Vulnerability also means being honest about your intentions and boundaries. If something is bothering you or if you have specific needs in the relationship, communicate them respectfully. For example, if you feel like you're always the one initiating plans, you might say, "I love spending time with you, but I'd like to feel that you're equally interested in making things happen between us." This kind of honesty requires courage, but ultimately strengthens the foundation of your connection. The fear of rejection often holds men back from being vulnerable. But the truth is, vulnerability is what makes you more memorable and magnetic. It shows her that you're not afraid to be seen for who you truly are, imperfections and all. In fact, it's often the moments of imperfection, the stumbles, the hesitations, the candid admissions, that create the deepest bonds. Ultimately, vulnerability is about embracing your full self and inviting her to do the same. It's not about putting on a performance or presenting a polished version of yourself. It's about saying, "This is who I am, and I trust you enough to share it with you." When you approach vulnerability with this mindset, you cultivate a connection that goes beyond surface attraction and taps into something far more profound. By sharing your humanity, your fears, dreams, triumphs, and failures, you create an emotional landscape that she'll want to explore again and again. As Marcus Aurelius reminds us, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. When you let her see the vibrant and varied hues of your inner world, you become more than just a man in her life. You become someone she can't imagine her life without. Chapter 5. Be supportive and caring. One of the most effective ways to foster emotional desire is by demonstrating genuine care and support. Women are drawn to men who make them feel safe, valued, and understood. This doesn't mean you need to solve all her problems or shield her from life's challenges. Instead, it's about being present, offering encouragement, and showing empathy in ways that make her feel deeply appreciated. Support her aspirations and show interest in the things that matter to her. If she shares her goals or dreams, take them seriously. For example, if she mentions wanting to start a new project or pursue a promotion, respond with encouragement. That sounds like an amazing opportunity for you. What steps are you thinking of taking to get there? By actively engaging with her ambitions, you not only validate her efforts, but also position yourself as a partner in her success. Being supportive also means being there for her emotionally. Life isn't always smooth, and during moments of stress or hardship, your role is to provide stability and reassurance. If she's overwhelmed with work or dealing with a personal challenge, listen without immediately offering solutions. Sometimes, the most supportive thing you can do is acknowledge her feelings. "I can see how much this is weighing on you." It's okay to feel like this. It shows how much you care. This kind of empathy strengthens the emotional bond between you. Small, thoughtful gestures go a long way in showing your care. Remember significant details she shares with you, like an important meeting or a special event. Follow up later, How did that meeting go? I've been thinking about it since you mentioned it. These simple actions demonstrate that you value her and pay attention to the nuances of her life, making her feel seen and appreciated. Acts of kindness are equally important. If she's having a tough day, consider small, meaningful ways to lift her spirits. Maybe it's as simple as bringing her favorite coffee or offering to run an errand so she can relax. These gestures might seem minor, but their cumulative impact is profound. They show her that you care not just in words, but in actions. The Stoics believed deeply in service and compassion, understanding that kindness is a core element of meaningful relationships. Seneca famously said, "Wherever there is a human being, there is an opportunity for kindness." This philosophy applies to relationships as well. Being supportive and caring isn't about grand, dramatic actions, it's about consistently showing up for her in ways that matter. Support also means respecting her independence. While it's important to offer help and encouragement, avoid being overbearing or intrusive. She should feel that you respect her ability to handle her challenges while knowing you're there if she needs you. This balance of care and respect creates a sense of mutual trust and admiration. In times of vulnerability, your role as a supportive partner becomes even more crucial. If she shares something deeply personal or emotional, handle it with sensitivity. Don't rush to change the subject or minimize her feelings. Instead, validate her emotions and thank her for trusting you enough to open up. Phrases like, "I'm really glad you shared that with me, it means a lot," help her feel safe and valued in your presence. Being supportive isn't limited to times of stress or hardship. Celebrate her successes, no matter how small they may seem. If she accomplishes something she's proud of, be her biggest cheerleader. Say things like, "I knew you could do it. You've worked so hard for this, and it's amazing to see you succeed." Sharing in her joy reinforces the idea that you're invested in her happiness. Emotional support also involves fostering a sense of belonging. Create an environment where she feels comfortable being herself without fear of judgment. This can be as simple as laughing together over something silly or sharing your own vulnerabilities to show that it's okay to let down her guard around you. The Stoics remind us of the importance of consistent effort in relationships. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." By consistently thinking about how you can show care and support, you shape a relationship built on trust, respect, and emotional depth. Over time, your genuine care will leave a lasting impression. She'll remember how you made her feel during both her highs and her lows. More importantly, she'll see you as someone who adds value to her life, not just through your actions, but through the emotional security and confidence you inspire in her. Ultimately, being supportive and caring isn't about performing grand gestures or trying to impress her. It's about showing up authentically, offering kindness and empathy, and being a steady presence in her life. When you do this consistently, you create a foundation of trust and affection that fosters deep emotional desire, making her feel connected to you in a way that's both powerful and lasting. Chapter 6: Attentiveness, the magic of listening. Listening goes far beyond merely hearing the words someone speaks. It's about tuning into the emotions, intentions, and unspoken nuances behind them. For a woman, feeling truly heard is one of the most profound forms of validation and connection. When you master the art of active listening, you demonstrate that her voice, feelings, and experiences matter to you, which strengthens emotional desire in powerful ways. When she talks, give her your undivided attention. This means putting aside distractions, such as your phone, TV, or even your internal dialogue about how you'll respond. Focus entirely on her words, her tone, and her body language. Maintain steady eye contact, nod subtly to show you're engaged, and lean in slightly to convey your interest. These small, intentional actions signal that she has your full focus. The key element of attentiveness is thoughtful responses. Instead of rushing to interject with your own experiences, ask questions that show genuine curiosity. If she shares a story about her day, don't just say, "That's nice." Instead, delve deeper. What was the highlight for you, or how did that make you feel? This encourages her to open up further, creating a deeper emotional exchange. Remembering details is another crucial aspect of active listening. If she casually mentions a challenge at work or an upcoming family gathering, bring it up later. For example, you could say, "How did that presentation go? You were preparing so much for it." Such gestures show that you not only listen in the moment, but also retain and value what she shares. This builds trust and reinforces the idea that she's important to you. The Stoics emphasized the power of presence. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Confine yourself to the present." Being present is a gift you give her when you listen intently. In a world full of distractions, your ability to fully engage with her sets you apart and makes her feel special. Attentiveness also means being sensitive to her emotional state. Listen not only to what she says, but also to how she says it. If her tone is hesitant or her body language seems off, gently ask if something is bothering her. A simple, "You seem a bit quiet, what's on your mind?" can open the door to deeper conversations. This kind of emotional attunement shows her that you care about her well-being, not just the surface-level details. To elevate your listening skills, practice reflective listening. This involves paraphrasing or summarizing what she shared to confirm your understanding. For instance, if she says, "I'm feeling overwhelmed at work," you might respond, "It sounds like things are really piling up for you right now. How can I help?" This not only ensures you're on the same page, but also shows her that you're actively processing her feelings. Listening doesn't always have to be serious or heavy. Sometimes it's about sharing light-hearted moments and showing you're tuned into the little things. If she mentions her favorite snack, surprise her with it on a random day. If she talks about a song she loves, add it to a playlist for her. These small, attentive actions demonstrate your care in ways that words often can't. The Stoics understood that attentiveness isn't just about the other person, it's a practice of self-discipline. To truly listen requires quieting your own thoughts, resisting the urge to dominate the conversation, and focusing on the here and now. Seneca wisely observed, "Nature has given us one tongue, but 2 ears, that we may hear twice as much as we speak." This balance is key to creating a meaningful connection. Listening attentively also builds intimacy. When she feels safe to share her deepest thoughts, dreams, and fears without fear of judgment, she'll naturally draw closer to you. Over time, this openness fosters a bond that goes beyond surface attraction, creating a connection rooted in trust and mutual understanding. In practice, attentiveness transforms ordinary interactions into extraordinary ones. Imagine a casual evening where she talks about her aspirations, and you respond with genuine interest and encouragement. Such moments become defining memories where she feels deeply valued and supported. Lastly, being a good listener is not about perfection, it's about effort. If you find your mind wandering during conversations, gently bring your focus back to her. Acknowledge if you miss something and ask her to repeat it. "I'm sorry, I got distracted for a second. Could you say that again?" This honesty shows that you're committed to improving and genuinely care about what she has to say. By mastering attentiveness, you offer her a rare and precious experience in today's fast-paced, often distracted world, the feeling of being fully seen, heard, and understood. This emotional depth creates a magnetic pull, making her eager to spend more time with you and solidifying a connection that words alone cannot achieve. Chapter 7. Creating memorable experiences. Deep emotional connections thrive on the foundation of unforgettable shared experiences. These moments, no matter how grand or simple, create emotional imprints that linger in her mind and heart. The key is not extravagance but intentionality. Moments crafted with care and meaning resonate far beyond the material. Memorable experiences come in many forms. A spontaneous adventure, for example, carries the thrill of the unexpected and the joy of discovery. You could plan a day trip to a scenic location neither of you has visited, turning the journey itself into a cherished memory. On the other hand, thoughtful surprises, like recreating a moment she once mentioned in passing, a favorite childhood dessert, or revisiting a bookshop she loved, can have an equally profound impact. It's not always about grand gestures. Sometimes, the simplest acts, like a quiet evening spent stargazing or having a deep, uninterrupted conversation, can become the moment she treasures most. The act of being fully present, listening, engaging, and showing her that she's the center of your attention creates a bond that's hard to break. For example, consider planning an experience that ties into her personal passions. If she loves art, arrange a visit to an art exhibit followed by a discussion over coffee. If she enjoys nature, a hike with a surprise picnic at the summit could be perfect. The effort you put into tailoring these experiences to her interests will demonstrate your thoughtfulness and genuine care. Marcus Aurelius, one of the great Stoic philosophers, beautifully encapsulated this idea when he said, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive." This mindset encourages us to treat each moment as an opportunity to create something meaningful. By living with intention and bringing that mindset into your interactions, you invite her to be part of a life filled with purpose and joy. Memorable experiences aren't just about the immediate impact, they build a narrative for your relationship. Over time, these shared memories become the stories you both recount and revisit, reinforcing the bond you share. For instance, years from now, she might smile at the memory of the impromptu midnight road trip you took together or the quiet moment you shared watching the sunrise. These experiences become emotional anchors, grounding your connection in something deeper than words. Even the small, everyday moments can be made special with the right perspective. Instead of a routine dinner at home, turn it into a themed night with music, cuisine, and decor from a place she's always wanted to visit. The effort to elevate the ordinary into the extraordinary shows her how much you value your time together. The Stoics teach us to cherish life's fleeting nature. Seneca wrote, "Life is long if you know how to use it." When you approach your relationship with the mindset of creating timeless moments, you're not only enriching her life, but also your own. These shared experiences become the fabric of a meaningful connection, woven with care and intention. Ultimately, the most memorable experiences are those where she feels seen, valued, and understood. It's not about impressing her with wealth or extravagance, but about showing her that you've taken the time to create something unique for her. This kind of effort speaks volumes about your character and your commitment to building something meaningful together. By focusing on creating these moments, you become more than just someone she spends time with. You become someone she dreams about, someone whose presence fills her with warmth and joy. Every memory you create together strengthens the emotional desire she feels, making her look forward to the next chapter of your shared story. When you live fully and with intention, as the Stoics advocate, you turn the ordinary into the extraordinary. You foster a connection so profound that she'll never want to let go. Creating deep emotional desire isn't about tricks or manipulation, it's about embodying integrity, authenticity, and presence. By mastering these Stoic principles, you become the kind of man she can't help but be drawn to. If you've made it this far, like this video, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Remember, your actions today define the relationships you build tomorrow.